right, y'all, so let's make these donuts. So I have 1 egg yolk here in my bowl. I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1½ tablespoons of soft butter, and a 1/3 cup of sour cream. And then we're gonna blend this together. My husband just walked in.
Hello, guys.
So we're gonna get this mixed together, and then we're gonna form those pretzel steaks. So you wanna blend this together. Okay, so you also need to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, so now you need 3/4 cup of flour. We're gonna sift this in. And I'm using cake flour here, so that's 1. Okay, you need, let's see here, a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. And you need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. All right, and you also need 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and then you're gonna need 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, then you want to sift that in. And this is a small batch recipe. All right, now you want to blend this together here. Okay, so here is our finished dough. And I'm gonna get this out of my bowl here, and I got some plastic wrap sitting down here. And now you want to refrigerate this. Let me get this all scraped. Okay. Go ahead and wrap it. Press it down, and then you want to place this in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. Mine is probably going to be in there for about 1 hour or so. And then this is going to be our triple chocolate old-fashioned sour cream donuts. All right, y'all. Next, I got my dough here, my donut dough, my triple chocolate old-fashioned sour cream donuts here. So I'm going to flip that. You want to lightly flour your surface. And then I am going to cut out heart shapes for my donuts. So I'm going to roll this out the best we can anyway. Put a little bit more flour. Let's flip this again. About 1/4 inch thick. And remember, this is a recipe for 2. Or a small batch. Okay, now let's see if we can get these get us some heart shapes cut out here. Let me get a little bit, just a little bit, one more roll down. Okay. All right. Now we want to cut these out. Put that on my parchment line baking tray here. Okay, so here are our finished donut cutouts. So I'm going to cover this, place this in the refrigerator, and let them set for a little while I get my ravioli together. All right, now you want to add about a cup of powdered sugar. And about a 4th cup of cocoa powder. Okay, and then we're gonna sift those together here. Okay, so you need about a tablespoon of corn syrup, and I only have dark, so that's gonna have to do. This is chocolate anyway. And we're gonna mix this together here. And you also need about a teaspoon of vanilla, and I just had that in my hand, and then I just put it down. And then we're gonna mix this, and then we're gonna also add some water once we get this all mixed together here. And this is gonna be the icing for our donuts. So you probably need about a tablespoon of warm water. All right, so I got my donuts out of the refrigerator here, and I'm just gonna put a slice down the middle to give them room to expand. And I have my oil heating up here. And then I also took about a 4th cup of chocolate sprinkles and about 2 tablespoons of mini chocolate chips, and I mixed those together here. Okay, this was an experiment one here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there, make sure this oil is hot. And it is. All right, so now I'm gonna start throwing in some of my heart-shaped donuts here. Can you get some paper towels so we can get some drained? So I got about 4 of them in there. Once they start rising to the top, we're gonna flip them. I got y'all pointed down there. And then we're gonna drain them, pull them out and drain them. And you can see they're rising to the top there. Go ahead and flip that. Take them. Thank you, Dan. Put that there to drain. Okay, so I'm going to pull these out. And they have kept the shape. They look really, really pretty. Let those drain there. And that was the little practice one. See that? We ate all them donuts up last week. Oh, yeah. All of them was good. All right, now I'm gonna drop in some more. right, so now I have my icing here, and my donuts are still warm. Let me hold that over there. So I'm gonna take it, dump my donuts in. Do you want the whole thing or just one side?
No, one side.
I know I had a fart. Pull that out. And then I'm gonna dunk it down directly into my sprinkles. And there we go. Then you just put that down. Let's do another one. I'm gonna do one without sprinkles because I'm gonna do some that I'm gonna eat without those. Let me do one that's coated completely in the ice in here. And I know you might be thinking Valentine's Day, but I'm thinking that this is just pretty. Like, this is death by chocolate.
You know I love chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate is addictive.
I'm saying as far as like the Halloween theme.
Oh yeah, but I do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna dip this one down in my chocolate sprinkles and chocolate chips. Those look really cute. Dip it. All right, y'all, so it is Saturday, about 3:40. We are going out on a little drive before we have our date night, but we are doing date night in Africa today. But that is a beautiful place over there. I always thought that. This is Blow. I don't know if it's Blow Elementary. I don't know what this is now. It looks like it ain't open. Blow School, but I don't know. It used to be elementary, right?
Yeah, middle school.
So this is Blow is named from the Susan Blow, but the Blow family has a wonderful history here in Carondelet, and that is what we're driving through now because we are currently on our way to Sugarloaf Mound, the last native mound that is here in St. Louis. And they just recently handed Sugarloaf Mound back over to the Osage tribe here in St. Louis. But I was talking about the Blow family, but we're going to give y'all a little history on the Sugarloaf Mound before we get there, okay? So what street are we currently on here?
Loughborough.
We are currently on Loughborough.
Going east toward the river.
And the Sugarloaf Mound is located off of South Broadway and 55, okay? And let me tell you a little bit about it. Sugarloaf Mound is the last remaining Native American mound in St. Louis. At one time, St. Louis was called Mound City, and it was because there were over 400 mounds, which were all built by Native people all around the area, okay? And what's sad is that all of those, they said when the French began construction on what would become St. Louis, in about 1875, by 1875, all the mounds were gone. When they began construction, but by 1875, they were all gone. And the last one that was left is the one that sit up here off the highway. And it's called Sugarloaf Mound. And it's called that because they said that it looked like the mound of sugar when it came through on the trains. So a mound of sugar, and so they named it. And this wasn't the native; this was the French or whoever was occupying the area named it that.
Portuguese or French, they both at one time.
Yeah, and then most of the people that lived here in Carondelet were German. This was like a German community. But at one time, the sad thing about Sugarloaf Mound is they in about let me see here, 1928, they built a house on top of this mound. And I think they're thinking that there are bodies buried inside of the mound because a lot of the mounds contain bodies.
Burial.
And they were burial.
Oh,
yeah.
That burned down?
Oh wow, y'all, this is crazy. We used to live over this way. We owned a house over here.
The whole 7-Eleven burned down.
Yeah.
We saw this neighborhood coming.
But I remember that house sitting off the side of the highway because people told me that there was a native mound that was right there. But they tore that house down, and now the only thing that's sitting there is the mound, and they've given that back to the natives. So Sugarloaf Mound is where we're headed now, and it is the last mound out of all 400 plus that is left in the former Mound City that is now St. Louis. So yeah, you got a lot of messed up stuff that has happened
when
here.
they called, I think that was Cahokia when they called it Mound City.
You ain't going fast enough for him, apparently.
Man, I'm on scenic.
Yeah, we shouldn't be though.
I'm on scenic time.
He's always on scenic time, yeah. But that's good, because you don't want to rush life like he doing. Look, I don't know what he doing. He's just like going back and forth and doing everything.
Yeah.
But this is Broadway, and this is that's the drive that we normally have. So once we start getting closer to the Sugar Mound, I will let you guys see where it is and see what it looked like. I don't know if they've closed off the street, but the old address was 4420 Ohio. So you can see the river down there. But yeah, this is South Broadway. Yeah.
River Walk or whatever it is.
Okay, so we are on Broadway, and it is up. The mound is located once you get up by the highway. You were saying no, it's on the right. You were saying what?
So like when I was about 8, I remember like we used to travel in cabs a lot, you know, and McLeod cab. I think it was. I don't know if it was always based on Vanderbilt because they would be like Mound City Dispatch. They would still call it that. So they probably was talking about St. Louis. Yeah, it was on Vanderbilt.
Right.
And they called it Mound City Dispatch.
Because St. Louis was Mound City.
Mound City. The Mississippians, right? The Mississippian.
The Mississippians, the Osage. It was a lot of natives that lived here. And they lived in unison. They said they were like they were advanced for their time, which is,
River Bluff.
That's cool. So you could probably look over the river right there.
See, it had a gate by the river's edge.
And another interesting thing about this mound is that they used this at one point for measurement. That's how accurate these people built their stuff. When they were like measuring for land, to lay housing and all of that out. And the highways, they use this mound. It is up here, so you should be able to turn up here. Now,
Where's the street at?
it should be right here. Turn on this street right here.
They coming this way.
take that down.
That's a little private community down here.
Right.
This is a nursing home? Oh, that's is it
No. That's somebody's house, I think.
Livingston Homes? No, them little condos.
You see, this is Ohio, right? And the address is 4420 Ohio.
Never been down this street.
Yeah. And you should be able to see the mound. And it's the last one. I keep saying it just because I think that's sad.
Huh.
4420. Ooh, yeah. This is private property. You don't want to go on it. We ain't going to go on it, but you should be able to see it. And like I said, they just gave it back.
If they have it as a national park, maybe you can go in there.
I don't know what the Osage people are going to do with it.
Oh, yeah, because they might be like, it's sacred.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they say they think his body's buried in there.
Right. So that's a sacred thing.
That's a very sacred thing.
Right. A burial
And I just think that's sad that they had a house built on top of this. And it's, and this is it up here. As you can see. Can you see? This is it right here. And they have given it back to them. This is it right here.
Huh.
You can see the mound. You see it?
What does it say there?
No trespassing.
No, I'm saying it's got some kind of emblem, like
the native emblem.
Oh, the crest of the Osage.
Yeah. Wow, that is so neat. They took this back, baby.
That's wonderful.
And they were saying that you could see it's different levels on here, and you could see that.
Like a step pyramid.
Yes, because you can see the one level here where the driveway goes up, and then the next level is up at the top where all of the foliage is growing up there. But this is Sugarloaf Mound. I think they got this property too. But this is what's down Ohio. We're going to go down and let y'all see what else is down here. But that is a mound, sacred mound, that they had a house built on top of. Wow. And then these are all condemned. But you can see that this is mounded. You see it? Yeah. That's the bottom level of it. So if you've been to Monk's Mound, let me get out here so you can kind of see here. You can see the levels on this thing. Monk's Mound, you can walk up. Okay, so let me get out just so I can show y'all from our viewpoint that you can see that this is two levels up here. Okay, let me get out. Okay, so from this viewpoint, you can see that this is one mound right here. You see that one mound right here? That's one step, and then the next one goes up there. Do you see it? So, yeah, there may be bodies buried here, Native people. That's a part of St. Louis history.
And then, man, these tracks go back like
since before all of it,
2,000 years or something.
Before all of us.
Yeah, like,
and it's just
2,000 years, almost halfway back to Jesus' time.
That's cool that they got this back though. But yeah, that's a part of St. Louis history that everybody should know.
Wonderful.
Right. All right, y'all. Like, share, and
subscribe.
Okay, so I'm gonna serve dinner here. We're gonna get some of our homemade ear-shaped spinach and cheese ravioli. Can you see that ear shape there? All right, put on some sauce here. And some mozzarella cheese. Then I'm gonna get one of my breadsticks. I got them warming up in the oven here. Oh yeah, there we go. Our pretzel breadsticks. Look at those. I just gotta eat them. That is delicious. Wow. So this is what we are having for dinner tonight. We have our ear-shaped homemade spinach and cheese ravioli and our garlic pretzel garlic steaks. And then for dessert, we have our triple chocolate donuts here. Some with sprinkles. Look at that. Old-fashioned sour cream donuts. And yes, they are heart-shaped. And they are so good. All right, y'all. Woo, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow when we're going to be doing a date night in Africa. You want to join me for those recipes? They are going to be great. They're going to be great, y'all. Some peanut chicken. You got to join me for that. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe.